8 signs you're thinking like a true philosopher. Have you ever found yourself sitting in a crowd, yet feeling like a stranger in your own life? When people talk about money, status, appearances, you don't feel excited. When social media turns into a stage of vanity and noise, you choose silence and reflection. Maybe they've called you different or even odd, simply because you don't react like the majority. But maybe you're not out of sync at all. Maybe you're beginning to think like a philosopher. In a chaotic world where most chase recognition and live by others' eyes, the one who dares to pause, reflect, and live by reason will always seem unusual. Right now, let's explore 8 signs that show you're thinking like a true philosopher, especially through the lens of Stoicism, where reason, discipline, and inner stillness guide the way. These signs are not for self-glorification, but to recognize the path you're walking, a lonely path, yet profoundly worthy. And if you see yourself in them, perhaps you're already a philosopher, even if you've never claimed the title. Sign 1. You don't react instantly to everything. Most people live on reflex. An insult triggers anger. A compliment sparks excitement. Bad news brings worry. Good news brings expectation. They are like puppets pulled by the strings of the world. But you pause. You create a space between stimulus and response. Instead of being dragged by emotion, you ask, is this really worth my concern? Where is this feeling coming from? Can I control this? Marcus Aurelius wrote, if something disturbs you, it's not the thing itself, but your judgment about it, and you can choose to change that judgment at any time. Not reacting right away doesn't make you weak or passive. It means you're doing something harder, restraining yourself, holding on to reason, even while your emotions pull inside. That's the first sign you're living as a philosopher. Sign 2. You no longer see yourself as the center of the universe. Modern people live as though the world revolves around them. No reply? They think they're ignored. A look? They assume they're judged. A harsh word? They take it as a personal attack. But a philosopher sees differently. You realize the world is not about you. Someone doesn't greet you? They're probably lost in thought. Someone criticizes you. They may just be reflecting their own insecurities. Seneca wrote, we suffer not from actual insults, but from how our pride interprets them. You stop obsessing over yourself. You stop replaying conversations to defend your ego. Instead, you let go of the need to always be right, always be understood, always be liked. And with that, you free yourself from illusions, from needless wounds, from expectations that were never real to begin with. Sign 3. You know the difference between what depends on you and what doesn't. This is the cornerstone of Stoicism. Epictetus said, do not let external things rule you. Let your own judgment rule. You can't control the weather, the market, or people's moods, but you can control your response, your thoughts, and the values you live by. The philosopher asks each day, what is truly mine to govern today? When insulted, you cannot control their words, but you can control your silence. When business fails, you cannot control the economy, but you can control your next step. When fear rises, you cannot stop the feeling, but you can stop it from steering your actions. The world may storm, but you hold the oar. That clarity is freedom. Sign 4. You've stopped trying to win every argument. Philosophers don't see conversations as battlefields. They don't need to be right every time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, why be angry at the ignorant? If they're wrong, truth will reveal it. If they're right, you should be grateful. The wise don't argue with anger. They listen. They reflect. They walk away when needed, for they know protecting peace of mind is more important than proving a point. Seneca said, what do we gain from arguing? Mostly fatigue and regret. A true philosopher no longer seeks victory in words, because the greatest victory is mastering yourself. Sign 5. You no longer get swept into other people's emotions. When others rage, you don't rage with them. When they complain, you don't sink into their negativity. When the crowd panics, you remain calm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The madness of others should never rob you of your reason." A philosopher understands emotions are contagious, like a wildfire in dry grass. But knowing this, you refuse to become the next spark. You choose your response instead of letting reaction choose you. In today's world, where social media amplifies anger and words pierce through screens into your mind, maintaining independence of thought is an art of reason. Seneca once compared the mind to a fortress. It only falls if you open the gates yourself. When you can separate yourself from the storm of other people's emotions, not by coldness, but by awareness, you have taken a profound step on the philosophical path. Sign 6. You value the present more than chasing the future. Most people are haunted by what's next. When will I succeed? When will I rest? When will I finally be happy? But a philosopher asks, how am I living right now? Am I awake to this moment? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, do not act as though you will live forever. Focus on the present moment. Let every action, every word, every thought reflect the possibility that it could be your last. Those who ignore the present live tortured by the future. They wait endlessly, waiting for weekends, promotions, recognition, miracles. Meanwhile, life slips past. A philosopher knows the future is uncertain, the present is truth. So they pour their energy into living fully now, acting with integrity without clinging to outcomes. Peace comes not from having everything, but from knowing that this moment is enough. Sign 7. You live by reason, not impulse. A true philosopher isn't someone without emotions, but someone who observes them, as though standing outside of them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let reason guide you." Emotions are fire. If uncontrolled, they consume everything. Instead of snapping back at an insult, you pause. Instead of chasing sadness or fear into reckless choices, you step back and ask, is this really worth losing my peace over? Living with reason doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't let feelings drive your life. You are no longer a prisoner of emotion, but its observer. Sign 8. You see life as training, not a hunt for rewards. A philosopher doesn't ask, what will I gain? But rather, who will I become through this? Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for anyone else. He wrote to train his own soul, because for him, life wasn't about comfort. It was about becoming a person worthy of reason, virtue, and strength. Seneca put it simply, hardship doesn't break us. It reveals who we are. Each setback, each insult, each disappointment, these are not punishments, but lessons. A philosopher stops asking, why me? And starts asking, what can I learn from this? When you see life as training, even pain becomes meaningful. Philosophical conclusion. The ego craves recognition, but the philosopher craves truth. You don't need to shout to the world that you've mastered your emotions. The world will feel it, in your calm presence, in your steady choices, in your refusal to be dragged into chaos. Seneca once said, the free person is not the one without emotions, but the one who rules over them. You will still feel sadness, anger, fear, but you will no longer be their prisoner. Instead, you will stand like a fortress, steady amidst the storm. That is the quiet power of philosophy. If any of these signs resonated with you, share your reflection in the comments. Sometimes one honest line from you could awaken another soul's journey. And if you've stayed with me this far, you're not here for surface rewards. You're here for inner transformation. Subscribe to Stoicism Empire, where we build inner empires not with emotion, but with reason. Stoicism Empire. Think like a warrior, live like a philosopher.